Good evening and welcome to our little corner of the internet where we talk about fountain pens, inks, journals and journaling, just about everything and anything that's going to keep you inspired this evening. Hello and welcome. I am Hemingway Jones, of course. Absolutely delighted to be with you on another Tuesday night live stream where we cover a bunch of different things, but all having to do with journaling and fountain pens and inks. Although we haven't done inks in a while, we're probably remiss. We should probably do some inks. Can't remember the last time we did some inks. So have a lot of really great ideas and a lot of really great videos coming up on the channel. I think you guys will be really excited for that. So very happy to see everyone. Each Tuesday night we get a great group of folks that join us live in the chat. And of course I keep it up for the replay as well. So if you missed the show or part of the show, the beginning, you can always watch it after the fact. And I find these are pretty timely. I end up keeping them up. So a bunch of stuff going on, a lot of fun stuff to share with you. Maybe first and foremost is that we have a very exciting video coming out this Thursday. It is the top 5 most iconic fountain pens, including vintage ones. So a nice twist on the top 5. I love doing lists. I think you guys enjoy my lists. So it should be a blast. This one covers iconic fountain pens, why they're iconic, and what it means to be an iconic fountain pen. And this time I am covering vintage ones as well. So I think you'll enjoy it. Pamela Snyder says, so excited to finally see the Wes Anderson pen. Me too. And we're going to talk about that this evening. So we have an update on the Wes Anderson pen, which should be a lot of fun and a lot of my perspective on that one, on how Montblanc has handled this whole situation. So stay tuned for that. It's one of the main topics this evening, which we will be getting to shortly. Without too much ado, I'm also going to show some more details on the Yard-O-Led Viceroy Barley fountain pen, which I have right here. And I have been using it now for several weeks. My video came out last week on the Yard-O-Led, and it was filmed at the Crane Estate a few weeks prior. That was one of the rare videos of mine that I made and put up right away. So a very nice video. If you haven't had a chance to see it, check it out on my channel. It's obviously there. It's the top video right now, the latest video right now. And I did my classic style of reviewing a fountain pen in a beautiful setting with the family around. Told the story of this magnificent Gatsby-style estate on the North Shore of Massachusetts here in the greatest state of the United States, in my opinion, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And very beautiful scenery, beautiful gardens, and beautiful family shots. We had pretty much the entire space to ourselves, certainly inside. So there is some dancing. There should always be dancing in every fountain pen video. And there certainly is dancing in this one. And there's a bit of heart. I always try to put a little heart in everything I do. So hopefully you enjoyed it. And if you haven't seen it, do check it out. Even if you're not interested in the pen necessarily, I think you will enjoy the video. I always go beyond the pen into bigger meanings, more history. And we certainly cover the history of Yard-O-Led. Show some of their artistry as well. So a lot of fun. Karen is a big fan of Massachusetts. The Commonwealth is a wonderful place to live. So much culture here. To me, culture is life. Culture is what makes life just that much more wonderful. If you ever notice, the brutes come after culture. When anyone tries to destroy your country, the first thing they destroy is the culture, museums, and that sort of thing. The brutes don't understand culture. When the Visigoths sacked Rome, they didn't say, oh, look how pretty these statues are. They destroyed them. Brutes don't have a capacity for culture. So, Tom Morley has a Yard-O-Led mechanical pencil that he really likes. Yes, Yard-O-Led, as the name might suggest, is famous for their mechanical pencils. And we cover that in the video. Although I didn't have one of those, I have one of their fountain pens, which I'll show in more detail tonight, more kind of continuous detail. I think it's kind of nice to follow a review with a follow-up review so that you get an idea of what it's like a few weeks later, and also what it looks like in continual relative close-up. The live setup allows for some close-up. Hopefully Ecamm will be very nice tonight and we won't get any glitches. So that should be a lot of fun. I also think you'll enjoy this week's video, which is a top 5 list. I love doing those top 5 lists. I think you guys enjoy them. I always am a little bit more relaxed and conversant when I do those, just sort of having a good time. And this one is a blast. A lot of energy, a lot of fun graphics. I think you'll really enjoy it. I just recently watched it. Sometimes I don't watch my own stuff, and then people ask me questions about something, and then I have to watch it. So, because it's sort of out of context, I'm like, what are they talking about? You know, comments are always overwhelmingly nice, so which is great. When they are negative, it's a drag, but you know that's kind of the nature of the game too. So, Craig Nelson says the Commonwealth of Virginia. I like Old Dominion. That's my favorite nickname. That's a pretty good nickname for any state. But yes, Virginia's a Commonwealth. Pennsylvania's a Commonwealth. And I always forget, is it Kentucky? There's one down south, and I always forget. But Scott Lasky says it's time for a cool or not cool video. So cool or not cool videos are ones I've done with my wife, where I take my latest fountain pens or ones we haven't discussed, and very Top Gear style. If you're familiar with Clarkson, Hammond and May, their car show where they had their cool wall, this was inspired by that. We discuss whether or not a certain pen is cool or not cool. We haven't done one in over a year, maybe 2 years, because my wife is kind of retired from sitting next to me, which is which is sad. You know, I did do one with her last year on purse pens, which was pretty great, where we discussed her. I actually gave her a bunch of pens and I had her demo them to tell me which ones were the best to be used in purses. Thanks for the thumbs up, guys. I see them flying. Appreciate it. Helps YouTube. So I'd love to do something with her again, but I don't know if I can lure her back. I did do a video, though, that's coming up on the channel. Believe it or not, you might find this shocking, but I did do one with Imogen. So Imogen makes her debut on the channel next to me very soon for a very particular purpose, because what we're talking about is something that she wanted very much, and I couldn't keep it from her anymore. And so I'm like, I really need to film with this. And the idea was, well, let's just film with it. And that's what we did. So we had a blast. So prepare for that very, very soon. Moonlove says, any plans to get a proper magnetic board for a cool wall? I would love to. I would love to have something like that that's sort of hierarchical, and then I could keep it up, almost like the time trials on Top Gear. That would be neat. But since I don't know if I'm ever going to do cool or not cool again, you know what would be really neat? If I did it at the Atlas Stationers sidewalk sale and streamed it live. That would be neat. I wonder if I could get my wife to do that. And then it'll be a lot of fun. We'd be at Atlas in Chicago, and we could see how that's going. That would be a lot of fun. So remind me, guys. Sometimes I forget things, so remind me. Pamela Snyder says, excited to see Imogen. Yeah, me too. No E at the end. It's Imogen, just so you know. No big deal. Everybody misspells it. My family misspells it. How's the audio sound? I decided to use my wireless mic tonight instead of my regular mic. So I use this to record sometimes, especially if I'm doing handwriting videos, which I have a whole bunch coming up. I think you'll really like. I wish I could tell you, but when we get closer, I'll tell you, because some of them I'm so proud of. I think they're going to blow you away. Okay, let me do what I always do and show you some of the pens I have been using as of late. My Lockbee pen case is very light these days. Very, very light, because it's only carrying 2 pens. It's kind of sad. I don't like to overstuff my pen cases anyway, and I always tuck in the clips so they don't scratch against each other, which they will do because these do move around, especially if it's in your bag. And there's a precious pen here. I'm still carrying my Namiki Great Wave pen that my wife bought me for my birthday, which looks stupendous in this lighting. So sooner or later, I'm going to do an actual video on this. It does have a special Namiki nib that has Mount Fuji on it, which is pretty neat. It also has Namiki ink in it. I got this Penco composition book, which is pretty nice. Made in Japan. I don't post this pen. I don't feel like I have to. So I don't. Makes a fantastic scribing noise. It sounds like it's tuned. It's very, very, very fine. It's a fine, but it's so much like an extra fine. It's Namiki black ink. Very nice. Anybody watch Clarkson's Farm? That's Jeremy Clarkson's latest show. It's really good. It's really entertaining. So this is a beautiful pen. Absolute blast to use. Very light, very, very expressive. So I love this. Lady Mang says, I grew up without AC in New England. How in the world did I do that? Well, it really depends. If it's like this year, it's cold right now. I have a jacket on right now. It's about 66 in my house. It's about 60 outside, I think, and rainy and damp. So it's a cold spring. It just has never, never warmed up. Oh, I see some fans of Clarkson's Farm out there. So very much digging this pen. Very nice of my wife to buy it for me. You see me when I put these away, I put my thumb here. I don't mind scratches and whatnot, but I kind of don't want to do it through carelessness. I just want to do it through use. So I'm frequently in the habit of blocking. You can even see that it's sort of bent up from me doing that. So, and the other pen I can't put down is my Montblanc 22, which you may have seen a short I did. This has It's supposed to be a medium nib, but it's awfully fine. It's very fine. I can hear my daughter coughing upstairs. You know, when you're a daddy, you're just tuned. She could be 2 blocks away and I think I can hear her cough. Montblanc 22. Now there it looks kind of medium, but it does have some flex. I love how mid-century this looks. Some flex. I'll try to flex it here. So you can see some line variation there. But it's certainly not a Mag 600 or anything. But it is a very nice pen to write with. Very affordable. You can find these for about 100 USD. I wouldn't pay more than 150. Make sure it's in nice shape. Take good care of it. You'll be fine. Beautiful sapphire ink window. I have Montblanc Royal Blue in here, which looks really nice. So that's Namiki Black, Montblanc Royal Blue. So very nice. I really like this. I've been journaling a lot with this. I find it's very nice for journaling. I can write really small, which I have been writing small lately. And I've also been taking it to work. I don't know. It's kind of one of those pens to me. It's sort of like you have to be in the know to appreciate it. And I like that. And you can also sort of change your angles and do different things. So if you write more straight up and down, you get a little more wispy line like that. Then you bring it around. You can do some more dramatic downstrokes if you want. So you can get some variety. That's terrible. I don't like that cross line at all. I should have gone higher, but what are you going to do? Not bad though. Do you see the power of this pen? Oh, that's a good title. Also, it's pretty wet. I should play some music in the background. Wouldn't that be nice? The power of the pen. It's very wet when you first put it on. Yeah, very nice. So this is a great pen. I would say if you have an opportunity, you're at a pen show, you see one, $100. Very light, very elegant, very mid-century. I really like it. You get 2 Montblanc emblems for the price of 1. The small one's very strange. Reminds me of those candies. You remember those candies that you sort of roll and you would cut and have like little stars in them? That's kind of what it looks like. The big one looks normal. So an interesting thing happened on YouTube the other day. I was very upset about it. One of those sort of YouTube injustices that you can't really do anything about. So I had a video get demonetized because someone made a copyright claim, a publishing company, that I had used their music without notifying them and paying a license. And the music that I chose is music that's on the free YouTube audio library that's in literally millions of YouTube videos. I've heard it everywhere myself. And it's still on the YouTube library. They didn't even take it down. So it's completely spurious. But if you not counter it, what's the right term? If you appeal it and then they find against you, they delete your channel. So I just didn't do anything. I'm like, all right, well, I'm not going to risk that, you know. because it's all algorithms. And you can't win against an algorithm. You don't talk to a person. If I could talk to someone at YouTube, I'd say, this is ridiculous. This is music you hear everywhere. Literally every other YouTube video is using the same track. It is completely baseless. But, you know, if they find against me, my channel would disappear, and I just can't risk that. And something similar happened on TikTok this week, which is funny. Someone told me that their nib was like worn down and they didn't know what to do. And I wrote them and I said, it's time for a nibmeister. And I got a notification that that comment was against their community guidelines. And so I appealed it. And then the appeal came back almost instantly. Your appeal is rejected. So the community guidelines evidently are counter to nibmeisters everywhere. I mean, it's just silly. And this is silly on YouTube that they would go after this music. And it's a shame. It makes me not want to use their music anymore because I can't trust them. Wasky Squirrel, my friend, says they don't normally delete after one appeal. I've appealed several times and have neither won or gotten a stalemate. These people are copyright trolls. Yeah, you're right. They're copyright trolls, and it's bizarre that they let them do that. Now, I'm thinking that it'll work itself out because it is such a common piece of music. It's just so common. But it's so dumb. It's part of the problem with this subscription series. If you subscribe for music, if you stop your subscription, then what happens? Or if an artist opts out at some point, there's a lot of pitfalls to this. A lot of pitfalls. Okay. Should we show the YardOLed, guys? Or let's look at some comments. Karen says the machines are taking over the world. We fight back with fountain pens. We do, and I'm losing, sadly. Or at least in this time, because I just can't, as Dr. Benway says, can't fight the algo. Sincerely. And also, they don't make it very easy to appeal because they give you these options and none of them apply. It's like, I own the license. Well, I don't own the license. It's fair game. Well, it is fair game. Like, I forget how they qualify it, but it just, nothing really suited, which made me even more nervous about appealing because I didn't want to get my channel deleted. So there we have it. Howie J has the same angst with music subscription. Yeah, me too. Or for a channel, because they have ones you can subscribe for the channel. As long as you pay them, you can use their license. So, looks like Lady Manx got thrown off Facebook for typing too fast. That's probably. Alan Paradisa says, audio is great. And it's nice not to see the mic in frame. Yeah, except the mic is in frame. It's right here. I'm just giving you a hard time. Yeah, and the camera's in frame. But, you know, it's a live stream. I can't really help it. And the handwriting videos either. If I have, it's got to go somewhere. Like, I can't show my face and cameras and mics. The mic's usually low. A lot of YouTubers are big on the mic, though. So in a lot of YouTubes, the mic is like the co-host. I keep mine low. And I have the kind of mic you're really supposed to speak right into. But I keep it low. But have you seen these channels where people have their mics like right here? It's like, ooh, sexy. But do you know what? And it's usually a really pretty mic. My mic's not very pretty. Theirs are like purple. Some of them have like a neon light on it or it's red. So, you know, it's really funny. Okay, let's look at the YardOLed. The YardOLed, look at this, beautiful case. It's nice that they give you a case that's useful. Like, it's not the most travel-friendly case, but it's not bad. It's a little a little heavy in here. Okay, look at that. This is a stunning pen. In fact, it's so stunning, it's hard to film. I'll show you in a minute. But nice case. It's sort of old school. I have a Waterman case from the 40s or 50s. It's like this. Very satisfying snap. Should probably leave it open. All right, so here we have it. So what makes it so difficult to photograph, guys? It's so reflective. So reflective. Look at that. So it's kind of hard for me to show you details because it's super reflective. You know, but it is gorgeous, just stunning. Someone in my comments said that they had one and that it tarnished in a day. Now, I did respond and tell them that this did not tarnish in a day. In fact, after several weeks of, I'd say, frequent use, not constant use, but certainly for the first 2 weeks I used it. It was in my daily rotation. But now it's in its case a little more. But I handled it quite a bit. I'm handling it quite a bit now. No tarnish. I mean, with silver, it's actually the other way, right? But still. I actually like silver tarnish. I think if this should get tarnished, I'll probably really appreciate it. Because I really like patina and a bit of age. So I will probably not mind it so much when it tarnishes. Well, I need to recognize someone wonderful here. David Pearson's my buddy. $2 super chat, thank you. Where can one actually buy a YardOLed in the US? Well, I think the only way to buy one is through them, if I'm not mistaken. But I think, and I believe, each one is made for you when you order it. So they don't create stock, they make them for you when it's time. So overall, gorgeous, very sort of late Victorian, early 20th century design. Looks like something out of the, like 100 years ago, the 20s or early 20s. Really pretty. The barley has nice texture. You have polished bits. You have barley bits. You have hallmarks. The silversmiths in England are very big on hallmarks. The hallmarks are always there. I don't know if that's tradition or if it's required by the guilds, but there you have it. And you can make out, I can't go too close, it'll get blurry, but you can make out my initials, TJS. Beautifully done. Everything's done by hand on this. So very nice for them to engrave that in the cartouche. And then the clip says YardOLed down it, has the 2 bolts up top. Very, very vintagey, which I really like. Very, very nice. Beatrice Penn says, I can't believe the infamous pen has arrived. I never said it arrived. I said I was giving you an update. That's part of the point. We'll get to that in a little while. I don't want to mislead. So, this pen, beautiful as it is a little hard to open. Now, it's not as hard to open as when I first got it. It seems like the more I use it, the easier it's getting to open. But it was a little stiff. And I think you guys know I do have numbness in my hand. I have a little trouble with these things now. So I kind of brace it and I just feel like I'm beating the crap out of it a little bit. This polish bit here is a bit of a scratch magnet too. The barley isn't. The barley hides scratches, but this bit, I get why they left it chromy, shiny, but it would have been nice to have a bit of barley going all the way. But I will say it polishes up very, very nice. Now there's two ways to take care of this. I showed you this in the video. If you watched it, you would know. One is you can, yes, sorry. I do love writing with this thing. So one of the things you can do to keep the tarnish off of this is use a jeweler's cloth to polish it, which is kind of fun anyway. I'm fiddly. I always have jeweler's cloths around. I polish my wedding band, which I'm not wearing at the moment just because I left it upstairs. I'm not wearing a watch either. I'll polish up my watch. I just like to polish stuff. So you can use a jeweler's cloth to polish things. David Pearson, my man with the $2 super chat. Thank you. I see you in the chat too. David Pearson's always here. Appreciate you. So this is easy to maintain. If it gets a little out of control, you can use Cape Cod cloth, which is in the links to this video. I have my Amazon store and I put links up to products like that if you want to get some, and a little bit goes toward helping the channel. But everyone should have some Cape Cod cloth if you don't already, because with that and some poly watch, you can restore the cosmetics of almost any pen. Jeweler's cloth, Cape Cod, and Polywatch. Polywatch polishes up resin. It can make a scratchy 30, 40 years old Montblanc look brand new with a little bit of polishing. And then you can get the details, or this whole pen is precious with the cloths. Now, the other thing that I worry about, like the one thing is opening, it's a little tight, but closing is a bit like operation, where you have to keep a steady hand. You don't want to scratch it. It's too nice. One of the things I pointed out in the video is that I feel like it needs a bit more polish on the inside here. Just a little extra polish on the inside. It's a little, I don't want to call it unfinished. It just needs a little extra here. It just feels like these edges are sharp enough that it can scratch stuff. Too much of a right angle. It just needs a bit more buffing. So the lovely people at YardOLed have heard me and said that they're going to adapt. So that's nice. Squeaky. So here's cartridge converter, standard fill, standard converter. Nothing to talk about there. I like these threads. I love this gasket. This is very nice, very well done. I wish pens had nicer converters. And I'm not going to blame YardOLed. I'm just going to blame everybody. Converters used to be glass and steel, like glass and chrome. And brands kind of had fancier converters than they do now. This one too. This is beautiful when you look inside. The threads look like brass. Do you see that? See how it's registering as gold? It looks like brass. It's beautifully machined. This one is beautiful. So, cartridge converter, a little squeaky. Point out the squeaks. Hear that gasket at the end? Can you hear that on? Hear that? How it tightens? It's pretty nice. It's not proprietary on the nib. That would be nice. I can't spell proprietary right now. It would be nice. It is very polished, this nib, though. It's very smooth, very finished. But their nibs are made by someone else. Very pretty, though. Very pretty. And it's white gold. And I looked at all the suppliers, and I didn't really see a supplier that makes white gold. some people were saying, oh, it's this, it's definitely that. And I said, are you sure? Because it's white gold. And it's 18 karat gold. And I don't see any markings. And I don't see any white 18 karat gold nibs in all of the usual suspects catalogs. So it is very proprietary. Boy, this is fun to write with, though. Makes a great scribing noise. Did you ever see Bright Young Things? That centers around a fountain pen where this guy has a fountain pen. I'm going to probably show that in some future pens and film video if I get around to making another one. Where it's a gold fountain pen with eagles on him. My gold pen. Well, this is a lot like that. It's a silver, but it's very princely, this pen. You feel royal writing with this. Like the Lord song. I see a super chat. And it's Rick Harsh. My man Rick. 10 Canadian dollars. Thank you. Really want to, but that YardOLed, you're a bad, good influence on me. You contribute to my addiction. A good one. Worked on my black tobacco photography project. Been working on it for years. Fantastic, Rick. I am here to inspire. I am not here to get you to buy stuff. I am totally ambivalent about whether or not you buy something. But I do like to tell you what is wonderful about something I find inspiring like this. I love... Oh, and thank you, by the way. Thank you very much for the super chat. It's very appreciated. Helps to keep the lights on. This pen is like a relic. And I think that's a theme on this channel. You've heard me celebrate. Any pen that successfully invokes the feeling of an older pen. I think Conway Stewart has done it. YardOLed has done it. And a few others from time to time. But this is a stunning pen in its design. It just looks like it were made in 1905 or 1915. This could have been on the Titanic. And it's precious. It's $9.25 sterling. So if anyone complains about resin pens and how they're not really intrinsically valuable, here you have something that is truly intrinsically valuable and beautifully tooled. No two are alike. And I'm very careful about opening it. And it writes amazing. It's pretty thick. Pretty thick. Now, I do think it's better writing rhythmatically. So if you're writing, I think it's better like this than it is on big, like, swoopy lines. Yeah, see, I have trouble with, like, that kind of stuff. See what I mean? I can do it, but I have to be very disciplined. I have to go, like, down and then follow it around. It doesn't like to twist, if that makes sense. I think it does. So it's very awesome, like, you know, you do this kind of stuff all day long. But when you go here, you sort of want to follow it around. It does it, but you have to be disciplined in ways that I am not disciplined. So I just find it better in the small work. Some pens love broad strokes. This one is a bit more on the fine writing. Namiki, the Montblanc 22, loves big strokes. And I love big strokes, and I cannot lie. As other fellas can deny. This, fine on the big strokes. Let's see how Namiki does. I love this. Can I tell you I love this? Thank you, Helen. Oh yeah, Namiki, flawless victory. Anybody into Mortal Kombat? Remember, flawless victory. I always liked the way they said Sub-Zero, because it was like, Sub-Zero. Okay. This one, gotta be a little more careful. There you go. Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful. Look at that. I think out of the three, this looks the best. It's got nice line variation. It's got a little personality. Yep, I'll have to say, YardOLed won the Tim test, evidently. So, it does have a custom feed, too. And it's beautiful. It looks like an ebonite feed, but I have no evidence of that. I asked them details about their feeds, and there was nothing they could tell me. So, I do ask these questions when I remember. Look at that. Doesn't it look like an ebonite feed? It's beautiful. I don't know who makes these for them either. They wouldn't tell me. I asked about the nibs a couple of times. I thought I was starting to annoy them, and they're very nice people. I don't know how much this matters to all of you, but the YardOLed people are lovely, passionate people that love what they produce, love the Birmingham history of their company, are passionate about keeping people employed, keeping the artisans employed. Lovely, lovely people. And it makes it a lot easier for me to work with them. But I did feel like I was going to annoy them if I asked them one more time who their suppliers were, which is, I guess, proprietary information. But I'm a banker and I ask these questions, even at my day job. So I really wanted to know. And I rarely do the 60-minute style gotcha questions with people. You know, I do fewer interviews. I have a couple coming up. I have a really exciting one coming up. You guys are going to love it. It's Jacqueline Burley from Pilot. We filmed a segment together. It's coming up very soon. I think you're going to love it. She has a fountain pen dream job. And the name of the video is Jacqueline Burley, fountain pen dream job. And we get into what it is that she does. So I think you're going to enjoy that when it airs later this month, June. It should be a lot of fun. JR Diaz says, use it at work and report back. I'm assuming you're talking about the YardOLed. I have written with the YardOLed at work. I have brought it to work. And people have noticed the very shiny pen on my desk. I loved carrying it to work. It will be at work again. So you can count on that. I'll say the one thing though is with the opening being a little tough, it's a bit of a ritual for me to open it. And I just felt, ooh, that's a good snap though, right? I just felt like I was beating up on it a little much, so I started to keep it here. Okay, I'm going to talk about Montblanc in a minute. I hope I didn't lead you on. What was that song? Was it Power Station? I hope I didn't lead you on back in the 80s. I just want to give you an update on the Wes Anderson pen. I don't have the Wes Anderson pen, but I have an update. I've heard from them, and I have complaints. So I think this is worth hearing. And this is probably why I'm not getting it, because I do complain about Montblanc quite a bit. Okay. But first, if you watch each week or listen here on YouTube podcast, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate having you here. And I'll work hard to keep things interesting. Everyone here will tell you that. Right, guys? I keep things interesting. So please subscribe. I'd love to see you. And in the comments. Okay. So I have heard from Montblanc, and they told me that I should have it within the next week and a half, which is exciting. So evidently they're being mailed later this week into next week, and that's very exciting. I don't know when the Phoenician Scheme comes out, but I feel like their timing is slightly askew. And I feel like Montblanc really sort of bungled this whole rollout, because those of us that paid early, we should have had ours in the order in which they were ordered, I would think. I know I was right on it. I probably paid for mine within 2 or 3 hours of it rolling out in email. I got the email saying it was available. I thought maybe it was a scam, so I independently tracked down the person at Montblanc and called them, and then realized it was the same person. And then they took my credit card information and I purchased it, and it wasn't cheap. It was, I think all in, it was like 28 and change, maybe 29, because there's tax on 26. I mean, it was big money, ladies and gentlemen. And that was in November, because I was in Italy when I did it. So that was the first week of November. Now here it is, almost July, 8 months later. They were saying it was going to roll out in spring. It's now almost summer. The 25th will be summer. And still don't have it, even though they say it's coming. But it's so late now, it's almost anticlimactic. Let's see what Nathan King has to say with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much. I'm a huge Montblanc fan and have tons of their pens. This is unforgivable. It's a premium brand and you're paying for a premium experience. Thank you. Thanks for the super chat, my friend. And you're right. You are right. It is, and you are. And I certainly overpaid for this pen because it's a cartridge pen. It doesn't even have a piston fill. And by the way, I don't know if you've ever noticed, but Montblanc is terrible on their website of giving you any details about any of their pens. You don't know which ones are piston fill unless you are a pen aficionado. You don't know which ones are cartridge converters. Sometimes you don't know what the fill system is. And they have expensive pens that take cartridges sometimes without any advance notice. I mean, my Egyptomania, when I bought it, I didn't know what the fill mechanism was. It didn't say. I assumed it was cartridge converter. I was relieved that it was a piston fill. I thought this one was a piston fill. It's a cartridge. I don't even think it has a converter. That's disappointing. They give you green ink. The other thing that's now a problem for me is whether or not to use it or just put it in my vault. Part of me wants to just put it away. I also wanted to make a nice video about it. I was able to do that with the 100th anniversary Montblanc 149 from last year, which is in my vault. But now I'm not sure I'll be able to make a video on this because I am running out of time. I am traveling at some point, and I might not be able to make this before I go. So that would be very disappointing. But I guess that's not their fault. They don't know my video production schedule, and I'm not blaming them for that. But what I am blaming them for is that they certainly didn't give it any sort of a VIP feel. If you, and I'm not saying VIP because I'm self-important YouTuber. I mean VIP because I was one of the first people in the first couple hours that put out nearly $3,000 for a pen I knew virtually nothing about. I think that is something I've bought, not something I'm entitled to. I bought a premium experience, and what I got was, oh, well, we're not going to send it because of tariffs. We're not going to send it yet. It's not ready. Just all these sort of things. And now it's months after they originally said. The film is either out or coming out. That I don't know. Ali J, hello. I think that price is beyond my pain threshold. It's beyond my pain threshold. I don't like to spend any more than $1,500 for a fountain pen ever. And this one was almost $3,000. I could buy some beautiful Urishi pen for that much. But my curiosity got the best of me, and it still holds me in its sway. And that's part of what this channel is about, following my curiosity. So I need to know what this thing is like. Now, I guess it's imminent and it's coming, but it just hasn't been a very pleasant experience. And here's the kicker. And this is the part I find almost insulting. So the Phoenician Scheme is coming out, or is out. I don't know which. If you know, let me know in the comments. And it has Montblanc fountain pens in it, at least one. And do you know which one it is? Does anybody out there know which fountain pen is prominently featured in the Phoenician Scheme? And by that I mean it's in one of the posters. It's prominent. Is it the Wes Anderson pen? No. No. Why would it be? Why would it be? I mean, it should be, is what I'm saying. If you're going to make a special Wes Anderson pen, why wouldn't you release it and have it in the movie? No, it's the Roa Noir in coral, which is a beautiful pen. I'd rather I had that one. I could buy, I think, 3 of those for the price of this. It's not even in the film. The coral or red or whatever the color is now, forgive me if I'm slightly off on that, but I'm upset. No, I'm really not that upset. But on principle, it should be the Wes Anderson pen. It's just ridiculous to me that it's the other one. So, James has helped me out. It is the Roa Noir. I thought so. Thank you. So, yeah. So there is that. There is that, guys. So that's the story. I should have it. When I do have it, I may go immediately live, whenever that is. I may. I may not be able to make the video I wanted to make with it. So I may do something as soon as it comes in. As soon as I have the box, hopefully before I leave, I can get something up and you can see it. We can play with it. That might be fun. What do you think? Should I do that? Let me know in the comments. Maybe I should. And then I can do another review after the fact, or maybe take it with me where I'm going. Who knows? Who knows? Do you guys realize this show is peppered with Doctor Who references? I hope you know. Who knows? So, that is my tale of woe on the Montblanc Wes Anderson. But the moment it comes in, I may just set up like this and we'll open it together. Because we do a lot together, don't we? We've been through a lot. We've been through the 146 controversy. We've been through the Jinhao controversy. We've been through a lot of things, a lot of fun stuff. And I'm sure we'll be through many, many more in the months and years to come. What an episode, ladies and gentlemen. We've said it all, and I am exhausted. But I had a blast hanging out with you. Our time is special to me, and I appreciate you being here. And I'm here for you. So I want you to know that just for you, I have some new journaling videos coming up soon too. Because life is hard, but we're going to get through it together. We're going to have some nice journaling techniques to keep you balanced, to keep me balanced. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Well, thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Much love to you all. Check out the video this Thursday on Top 5 Fountain Pen Icons Vintage Edition. Vintage and new. It's a blast. You're going to love it. And I'll be back next week for another exciting live show. And then at some point, we're going to take a little break, but I have some pre-recorded episodes for you to see you through so that you don't miss me too much and you'll be able to chat. But that's not for a while. We have some live episodes coming up, so don't worry. We're going to have a great summer, everyone. And I can promise you, we will see each other again further up the road and maybe on the Champs-Elysees. So take care.